I mean, suppose
technology has advanced dramatically, preferences have changed.
Drastically improved, I should say, drastically, because you know what's happening.
Right.
And then I think the first thing why marriages break is, first of all, you should see whether the couples are ready to get married.
Right.
Which is not happening right now, because most of the youngsters who are married, who are getting into a marriage, they are really not, doing it willingly. It is there is a slight force from the parents.
Right.
Just because they are into a relationship with somebody from other background or whatever culture, something like that, they just forcibly get them married to somebody else.
Right.
So they are willing to go for the marriage.
In fact, I would like to add to that, even if you are in a relationship with a certain individual, there is no guarantee that you'll be happily married.
Yes, right.
So let them assess the situation properly.
I'd like to add something. I have a 25-year-old daughter. Everybody says, she is in a relationship and they will ultimately get married, but I think they're very smart kids because they're securing themselves financially and in their corporate world, and they're doing very well for themselves, touch wood. But and I think that's really smart, and as parents I think I should encourage that. Again, it's a inter-race, inter-whatever.
But the reason why you're doing something like that is because you have a background, a similar background. You got married to Imtiaz, who's not from the same caste, same religion. Obviously you have your cultural differences. Now that you have sailed through that, you have understood the process, you'll be more transparent to your kids.
But this is what I want to tell you. We fight about everything except religion. Everything, the color of the dog and the hue of the lipstick, but never about religion. It's 35 years. Every morning I have this whole load of Bhagwans, and Amy goes and puts flowers on them. I have participated in all that my mother-in-law has done, because I feel I'm a very secular individual, and because they are such a loving family and foisted nothing on me, as we have foisted nothing on Amy. But the fact is that besides the point, I think it's really important that there's a lot of peer pressure. Even my peers are pressurizing me to get my daughter married, or she's 25, it's about time. I don't know. I think she can't even boil a kettle of water. I don't know what she's going to do. Like even Penny very clearly says, if he wants to eat, let him.
Provided if the hubby is like Imtiaz, maybe she'll get a cup of coffee in the morning.
Maybe. Again, I have a live-in maid. You have to understand that.
No, but the problem is that, see, here they understand, which is really wonderful. I think your kids are very, very lucky to have parents like you, because you...
Please say that on television. Hello kids.
बच्चों अगर सुन रहे हो मम्मी डैडी आपके बहुत अच्छे हैं. No, but honestly I think you need to have supportive parents like them. Let me come to Rajesh.
I just want to add that these differences were there when man and woman were made. So there are some other things now changing. One thing is the criminalization of family feud. Small things are tend to get they make it as a criminal offense. One thing is going to a police station, another thing is going to a lawyer. So a lawyer is a direct entry to multiple other problem domains. So
good lawyer.
And I'll tell you one more thing. You go to a lawyer, even if there was a slim possibility of a reconciliation, it's not happening.
Yeah,
it's not happening after that.
It will happen in the
Don't give her any money. I'm telling you, don't give her anything.
Yeah.
Let her fight it in the court, is what the lawyer will say.
Yeah, also he would also say that you file counter cases.
Yes, 2 women. I don't suppose I was a lawyer also. No, that's another one for you.
Not always.
We should protest.
Okay,
Yes.
she is a good lawyer. She is a good lawyer. Other lawyers
You're
are
a
bad.
multifaceted personality.
You cannot generalize.
Okay, focusing on the issue, this kind of criminalization is happening mostly because of media.
Right.
Media gives out an opportunity.
कोई नहीं मिला तो blame it on media.
So, Ravi, hang your head.
So let's not hang Ravi. Let's not hang Ravi. He's a very good boy. He is going to support my view. The another point of view is there is a false sense of equality which is being created by consumerism. There is difference between equality and neutrality. Let's not let's not confuse between what is gender equality and what is gender neutrality. So what people expect is gender neutrality, and they try to do something called
gender equality.
And as people
I think he made a very valid point.
I'm sorry, I'm lost. What is this gobbledygook about neutrality and equality? We are equal. You and I are equal. Just that I'm a better cook than you doesn't mean that it's my duty to cook all the time. Okay?
Yeah.
The fact is, I appreciate that you've come out through a bad situation and you must have had some, you must have gone through a tough time, which may have been unfair for you. But that may have jaded your opinion.
True.
But the fact is, This is what happens. If you look at all the frivolous cases, she never made hot for me, she never put stones in my food. Get your own food, bozo. Make it hot yourself.
Bozo.
The fact is,
we can have 2 kitchens in a house.
You mentioned it 4 times.
Yeah, we can have 2 kitchens in a house and have equal
I've
cooking.
made when I've come back. Nobody
You never
mentions
mention
that.
about it in there.
That's an everyday thing. But the fact is, it's just that women are better at some things. We multitask. We talk different languages. That's where it comes.
Very specifically multi-languages.
So I think again it is a problem of women saying, you and I are working. I come back home. Why am I making the bhaji while you're watching television? There's a problem with that. There's a great amount of resentment that will come up with that. You know, as I jokingly said, my daughter can't boil water. Now that's her problem. She can't boil water. She won't be able to eat herself, you know. But she says, my husband wants to eat, let him cook. So and I think it's fair. You know, my son is a very good cook. My son is, so there is a gender equality in that.
That is what the world is changing into. All the men have turned into excellent cooks and the women have just given up the habit.
All the best chefs are men.
Right. No, but coming back to a traditional family setup, let's assume for a minute that Gobind and Rajni are a traditional family setup wherein she's a homemaker and he's somebody who's the breadwinner for the family.
No, he toes the line, she's the homemaker.
Basically, throughout our marriage, we have worked together, both in our business as well as at home. And we have shared our work equally. Never for a moment thinking that cooking is your forte and something else is my forte.
Exactly.
He used to cook with me. In fact, he taught me cooking. When I got married, I was 19 and I didn't know how to cook at all.
Teach her some cooking.
And imagine he taught me even to make rotis. The first rotis I gave him were khakras and he said, what is this, dog food? Because I didn't know how to
Khakra reminds me I should come to your place one day. I've been, missing khakra for ages now. The last I had was in 2005.
and they were all shapes and all that. But he literally taught me how to cook. I was very naive.
This is a great example of gender neutrality. It's not like cooking is a gender specific thing. Now, cooking is something which has to be done in the house. Otherwise, we'll be paying more to the hotel, paying more to the doctor, and sometimes more to the lawyers also.
Right.
Now, focusing on the problem of cooking. Who does cooking? Because you're a woman, you should do. Because you're a man, why don't you cook? Let's not fight on such things. Let's
not trivialize the matter.
Yeah.
Also keeping their fort, when women can do multitasking and they can go to the office, take care of the kitchen and, do everything, which is, it is actually good for everybody as a family. But now why can't they also have the same faith in the man, the husband, the father of the children?
Absolutely. I quite agree with that. Assuming for a minute that I am a husband and I have a wife, and if I feel responsible towards my wife, thinking that I should buy her this, I should get her that, I should fulfill all her desires, take her to a 5-star property for Valentine's Day and for non-Valentine's Day. Pretty much every day you have to treat her. Why can't the wife also consider that at the end of it, he's my husband? If he eats and if he eats out of my hands, what's the harm?
No, again we're going into somewhere else. We're going into what they call set patterns,
No, I'm not even talking about set patterns. There could be a day when I would feel like...
They have worked it out. Obviously, we worked it out before the days of divorces were really in or something like that. For us, I suppose, divorce was not really an option. And we didn't even consider it an option.
In your case, not at all, considering the fact that your family would have said you chose to marry him, and now if you tell me that you'll divorce him.
No pressure at all. In fact, our families got along very well from day one. Kept saying, Bewakoof, 18, 19, what are they doing and all that. Just keep them apart till they turn something. But the fact here remains is when it becomes gender specific, as you said, there are certain expectations, unrealistic expectations from both sides. Like for example, my daughter and her fiance, they're dating. They split everything down the middle. I don't interfere in that. You know what I mean? If it's Valentine's Day, if he gives her something, she equivalently gives him something back. I
wish I had met your daughter.
Let's not talk about this barter system. Let's not talk about this barter system. Let's focus on the